What I find as I help language learners is that their problem isn't so much, normally isn't so much trying to get it in, because they've got you, the teacher, they've got a textbook. Often their problem is, where can I go to practice the language? And so it's helpful if you can share with your students places they can go to where they can practice the language. So let's just think now about where they can go to practice. Firstly, friendly shopkeepers or stall operators, those who sell fruit and vegetables or something like that, particularly at the time of day when there are not many customers. A Chinese couple who I know very well, Mr. and Mrs. Lee, they sell motorbike helmets. They have very few customers. I mean, it's rather sad. They have very few customers. But they're two lovely people. And I've arranged for some of the language students to go to their shop and sit and chat with them. And Mr. and Mrs. Lee are just so happy to help these foreigners practice their Chinese. And so friendly shopkeepers or stall operators, particularly at the slack time of day when there are very few customers, find those who are friendly and encourage the students to go there, or take the students there to meet them. Secondly, sports and recreation. Maybe it's jogging or swimming or playing ball. Go where there are Chinese people who are playing and join in with them. That's often helpful. I used to go jogging each day at a university near where I was living, and I used to go at the same time, and it was always the same people who were there jogging. And I used to jog with one person, and as we jogged, I used to practice my Chinese. So sports and recreation encourage the students to find where people are exercising and go along and join in. That's helpful. Another thing is long-distance train and bus journeys. Often people have little to do, so encourage the student, get on the train or the bus, look around and sit next to a Chinese person and strike up a conversation. If the student doesn't know how to strike it up, say, well, take your textbook and open it up and say to the person next to you, oh, excuse me, I see that yen su and yen zhong, the English is the same, serious. Can you explain to me the difference between yen su and yen zhong? And then chat away on the bus. So make the most of long-distance train and bus services. Something I've mentioned several times before, hire people for talking who come to your home. It's very economical on time, use of time. Also, obviously, language exchange. Maybe you can say to a Chinese friend, I'll help you with your English if you help me with my Chinese. Also, invite someone to come to your home to teach you a new skill, particularly, say, cooking Chinese meals, cooking Chinese food. Maybe you can say to a Chinese person, would you teach me how to cook something? First, you go together to buy the stuff, buy the materials, and then they come to your home and teach you how to cook it, and as you cook it, you can chat away together. That's often a very nice way to be able to practice Chinese in a very relaxed atmosphere. The key thing is, who should we talk with? And it's obviously important to find people who are warm and friendly towards us. And so tell the students to analyze how they feel with different people. Oh, with that person, I easily feel nervous and clam up. But with this person, they're very accepting. I feel much more relaxed. Well, then spend time with that person. So we need to think about what that person is like and how they make us feel. And finally, just as hopefully the students prepare for class, they should also prepare for practicing. Maybe they have a topic ready. For instance, they're on the train or bus or wherever it is, and they say, oh, I hear it's Chinese New Year next week. Can you tell me what Chinese people do at Chinese New Year? Or maybe they had their textbook with them and say, oh, look, 严肃 and 严重, could you explain it to me? So tell your students, in order to make the most of every opportunity, they need to be prepared. They need to have something to talk about. So these ideas, share them with your students, and I'm sure they'll enjoy going out and practicing their language. Thank you.